Hi, my name is Dion. Today I want to speak about the hooks that the enemy are using. Now, if you think about it, let's look at the real hook. A hook is designed in such a way that if it goes through your flesh, it's got a little nub on the end that prevents it for you just to pull it out. So when a hook went through your flesh, you need somebody to assist you to take it out. It will be a heck of a struggle to take that thing out on your own. You need assistance. And exactly the same with these hooks of the enemy. The enemy uses hooks, but he's hooking your soul, basically. And to get those hooks out, you really do need God's help to do it. We in our own power, humans, it's not possible to get it out on your own. Now you can ask yourself the question, what hooks does the enemy uses? Well, I'll give a few examples. Gambling, pornography, money, alcohol, drugs. There's actually so many. I'll just touch on a few. Just to give you the insight of what is actually happening and how they operate. How the enemy is catching God's children and hooking them with all these things. Okay, gambling is a good example of one of these hooks. You don't know much about it, but you go to this casino, and another thing to realize is these casinos are actually made to hook you. There's lights and it's sounds and it's people going on and it just looks nice. Now you can sit at one of those machines. It doesn't take a lot of money, a few rands, few dollars, whatever. And you go and sit at the machine and you pull it, ting, 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 ting. Nothing, pull, pull, pull. Eventually, just before you leave, you decide that let me just put in this another one. You put it in, and here it goes. You win. Flipping light is flickering, and it's just spitting out coins. Ting, 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 ting. Well, what a feeling! What a great feeling! Jeez, look at the money I made. And I only sat here for an hour and a half or whatever. It's fantastic. But yeah, hey, I'm definitely going to try it again. That hook has pinched your skin and it's going deeper. It's finding its way. It's going deeper and deeper. Next time you do it, you're not so lucky, but the hook is still there. You need to go again. The third time you win, again. Eventually it comes to a point that the hook is through. And that is what the enemy wants. He wants that hook to be through and for you to be caught in it. Because when you are caught, you can relax. I've caught this guy. He's in it. He's in it. He's gambling out his life savings, his house, his everything. And it's actually such a disgrace. Old people sit there and they don't even got the money, but they sit in that machine and they are hooked. And it just goes, the money just goes. And what the enemy likes is when it gets to that point, when it's automatic. things are just automatic. It just goes. I don't have to worry about that guy anymore. Let me just get this little baby Christian, pull him in, and get him hooked on this. Right, that is, let's look at another example. Pornography. Gee whiz, when I was a child, the biggest form of pornography was the scope, and then they also put little stars on the breast. Now today, if you've got a cell phone, which everybody has basically, internet, you can just go to any website and look at as much porn as you like. So that makes the enemy very happy, and in the end of the day, he's just hooking people all the time. And then pornography actually destroys marriages. It gets out of hand. It starts small, and it becomes also, over time, it gets worse and worse and worse. They start with, I don't know if you can call it normal pornography, and then it becomes worse things that I have to look at. And it destroys the confidence of a man, because God didn't design things to be like that. It's like trying to take a shortcut, and basically then the guy doesn't even know how to interact with women anymore. The image has been totally distorted, because the image that you get in pornography and these porn movies and stuff they make is not real. It's not a real life, how things are supposed to be. And it is one of the big hooks as well. And to get out of it is also not as easy. There's real help is necessary for people, and then especially God's help in getting your soul out of that rubbish. Right, then another big one, and the enemy is using this extremely well. It is drugs. I watched some of those videos where the guy goes into the bad areas of some of the USA cities, and then you get these drug addicts. They're standing there on the corners, and then the whole body is like bent. They're standing there because this truck is doing its job. You know, it's so sad. God created human beings in His image. In God's image, we're supposed to be powerful. But the enemy doesn't want you to know what that means. He doesn't want you to know what is God's image and what it means. He wants you to be full of drugs, so you don't know anything. What about God's image? But now this is what's happening. This is what the enemy is doing. God's people are sitting, standing, full of drugs, not doing anything, waiting to die basically. The drugs is getting so bad that some of the people's flesh, the doctor can't do anything. It's like sores and stuff, and it's just like, I think, hell on earth for these people. And even drugs starts, they start with a gateway drug, and then it's something stronger and stronger and stronger, so it keeps on going on. Eventually they end up with the strongest thing they can find, and most probably die of it. Some of these synthetic drugs is like 50 times more powerful than heroin. It is like the enemies say to themselves, Listen, how can we make something? Let's give them the formula to make a drug that is more powerful than heroin. And heroin is such a drug that when you take it, you are hooked quickly. Now you're talking about a drug that's 50 times more powerful. So in other words, you take that thing and it's gone with you. Without help, you will never get out of it. But the message here, guys, is that this enemy is destroying. He's destroying people. He's destroying God's children. And that is their function. It is like somebody with sour grapes. I've lost my place where I used to be with God, so I will destroy His creation, especially the creation of the image that He created in His image. We have been living for thousands and millions of years. Our intelligence is far superior. These little humans, we will sort them out. Guys, but in the end of the day, our life is short. We need to live for God. These hooks, we have to get these hooks out of us. And I'm telling you, so many Christians as well has got these hooks in them. You have to get free of it, because it's not, it is, the end goal is destruction. Destroy God's people. Get Him back, because we are lost. Whatever this enemy want to call itself, we are lost. But we still got it. We still can have or be saved. God's blood, Jesus' blood, paid for these things. And that is why we can overcome it. Not in our own power, not in your own power, but through His blood, through His price. I know it's not easy. This is why we need His help. Thank you for your time, and I hope that something of this video resonates with you.